Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well and everyone is preparing well. Welcome to Vijay Mohan IAS Academy. As you know that we are in the module of TSPSC Group 1 Mains Paper 4 video course and test series exclusively for English medium. Right? As part of this video course, we are in the discussion of first part, that is Indian economy and development, and under this first part Indian economy and development we are discussing chapter 1 related to national income and other related issues. So as part of this chapter we had previously done two videos, and in those two videos we had a discussion about national income, concepts of national income, measurement of national income, like what are the important approaches used for measuring the national income, like production method, like value addition method, like expenditure method, etc. And what are the recent changes, what are the recent changes being introduced to measure the national income, and also what are the major factors that are affecting the calculation or that are affecting the measurement of national income. We also saw difference between nominal and real income. So as part of this discussion we had discussed some of the previous year questions, and also we saw some of the practice questions also. Right, in this video I'll be going to discuss about structure and growth of Indian economy, sectoral trends in national income of India. These are the topics that today I'll be going to discuss. Right. Before moving forward, I want to tell you something about this chapter 1. Our first chapter is basically a static area, a core area. So there will be a minimal probability of asking about current affairs or dynamic issues. So I want to tell you the aspirants that if you are thorough in this chapter, then there is a possibility of scoring high in this chapter. Right? If you observe in this chapter, if you observe the previous questions, there are 4 to 5 areas. There are 4 to 5 areas where questions are being repeatedly asked in group 1 mains, particularly paper 4 are concerned. Only 4 or 5 areas that the questions are repeated on those 4 or 5 areas. Right? So all I want to say is that the probability of scoring high marks as far as this chapter is concerned is very much possible. Only thing is that you need to find out what are the areas that are repeatedly being asked, and you have to prepare a precise notes on these components. Right? So yes, so as part of today's discussion we will see first what are the probable areas of questions being framed on these topics. Right, I have mentioned the topics here. I have given two colors. In red color, the contents which are provided in the red color, the topics or the questions are being already framed on those topics. We will see some of the previous questions also, and these topics which I have given in the black color, that there is a possibility that questions might be framed on those topics. Right, first we will see one by one, then you will be able to understand. Now if you observe structural transformation, the previous question has already been asked in this structural transformation, on this topic structural transformation. What is the structural transformation? If a country is developing from low development to high development, what are the structural changes that you can witness? Right, and nature of structural transformation in Indian economy. Already previous question has been framed on this topic. What is the nature of structural transformation that Indian economy has undergone since independence, and in particular in this topic, nature of structural transformation in India, what is the nature of structural or sectoral contribution of income to national income? What is the sectoral contribution of different sectors to national income? Already one previous question has been framed on this topic. And what is the nature of change in occupational structure? Occupational structure, how occupational structure has been changed as economy develops, like what is the occupation or what is the employment being provided by the primary sector, how it has changed over the years, what is the employment being provided by the tertiary sector, how it has been changing, what are the reasons for that, what are the consequences for because of that. So already a question being framed on this topic. Then Kuznets-Clark hypothesis. See, Kuznets-Clark hypothesis is very important. Why? Because there is already one previous question, and as far as development economic or development economics is concerned, Kuznets-Clark hypothesis is being very important as it shows the rise or decline in the inequality as development progresses. Not only that, not only inequality, not only it shows about inequality, it also shows about how occupational structure changes as economy develops from low development economy to high development economy. Right here you observe sectoral contribution of income to national income, which is already asked in previous year questions, right? Changes in occupational structure, and you connect it with Kuznets-Clark hypothesis, how changes in occupational structure happens as economy moves from one development path to higher development path. Then inequality in income, I already told you that how inequality will change as development process proceeds, right? Now, declining share of agriculture sector in national income. This is also an important aspect, and in one previous question has been asked on this particular topic, that how primary sector's contribution has decreased over the years, right? And how occupational structure has been, our employment scenario has been changed from primary sector to secondary and tertiary sector. What are the effects? What are the causes? Right? Then rapid growth of tertiary sector in India, reasons and consequences, how tertiary sector has been over the years changing, and particularly after 1991 reforms and introduction of LPG reforms, there is a change in growth of tertiary sector, right? So what are the reasons for that growth and what are the consequences because of that growth, right? Comparative perspective on Western and Indian development process. See, if you observe the development process of India since independence, you will note some of the characteristics which are deviated from the development history or development procedure or development happens in the Western economies. So there is a perceptible difference between development process of India and development process of Western countries. That there is a possibility that the question might be asking on this aspect also. So basically, from the structural transformation or structure of Indian economy and sectoral contribution of national income, these are the areas that you will broadly getting questions from. So if you concentrate, if you observe closely, you can see that there are 4 to 5 areas which are being repeatedly asked in group 1 mains for paper 4, right? Now we will see one by one. Then, and meanwhile, while going through the discussion, we will see some of the previous year questions also. Then you will be able to understand how the questions are being framed and what areas the questions are being framed, right? Okay, now you see the structural transformation in an economy. First we will see what is the meaning of structural transformation in general sense. Then we will be moving to the structural transformation in Indian economy, right? So so what is the meaning of structural transformation in an economy? So as we already discussed that what are the economic parameters that are to be observed to understand structural changes in an economy. So I already told you that you need some economic parameters to understand this structural transformation. What are those economic parameters? First parameter is GDP change, constituents of GDP change. This is one parameter. Another parameter is employment changes. So how employment is changing in one sector to another sector, how employment or workers are moving from one sector to another sector. This is another parameter. Then shift in the composition of exports, how exports composition is changing, right? Then distribution of income, how distribution of income is happening, how inequality is happening in the economy, whether inequality is increasing or whether inequality is decreasing. So these are the key parameters that you need to observe to understand structural changes, right? That we need to observe as economy moves from low development path to high development path, right? Now we will see one of the important phenomena, that is Kuznets and Clark hypothesis. We will observe how inequality is being changed as the economy proceeds from low development to high development, right? So if you observe Kuznets-Clark hypothesis, According to this hypothesis, as an economy develops, market forces first increase and then decrease economic inequality. So according to this hypothesis, as economy develops, market forces first increases the inequality, then reduces the inequality. If you see the graphical representation here, this inequality and income per capita, you observe that as income per capita is increasing, initially inequality is also increasing, right? After a particular critical point, there is a reduction in the income inequality, thereby it is showing a inverted U curve. Inequality is showing a inverted U curve. This is Kuznets-Clark hypothesis. A previous question has been particularly asked about this Kuznets-Clark hypothesis, right? Now see some of the other observations. When a certain level of average income is set, the process of industrialization is in full swing, inequality is expected to decrease, right? Inequality would follow an inverted U shape as it rises and falls with an increase in income per capita, right? Now Kuznets had two similar explanations for this historical phenomena. Apart from inequality in distribution, Kuznets already also have two explanations for this changing phenomena. That is, workers migrated from agriculture to industry. He is telling that in the development discourse, as economic development from low development to high development point, workers will migrate from agriculture sector to industry sector, and also rural workers will move to the urban jobs. These are the other two phenomena, right? So Kuznets-Clark hypothesis basically saying about inequality in income, right? And also workers migration from agriculture to industry, and workers moving from rural jobs to urban jobs, right? So this is the hypothesis that you need to remember and you need to apply it to Indian economy. Okay, then we will move to next slide. Now we will see what are the structural changes being taken place in Indian economy. What are the structural changes that we will observe in the Indian economy since independence, right? This is very important because this is the crux that they are framing many questions, right? So what are the structural changes? Yeah. Now if you observe, since independence, we will see in a table form how the shares has been changing as far as primary secondary sectors are concerned, how growth rate is being affected, right? If you observe during the 1950-51 to 1959-60, what is the share of agriculture primary sector? Nearly 56%. Then if you see how it is being reduced now in 2011-12, it is 13.9%, right? Now observe the secondary sector. Earlier the share was 16% in 1950-51 to 1959-60. It has been reduced to 27% in 2011-12, right? We see the share of tertiary sector. Earlier it was 28%. It has increased continuously and it is now 59% in 2011 and 12, right? So you can make one more observation here, that as the share of the primary sector has been decreasing continuously, you can see the growth rate of Indian economy has increased continuously. You observe here the growth rate of Indian economy 3.7%. Then as the share of the agriculture or primary sector is decreasing, you observe that 7.6% growth rate, 6.7% growth rate, 8.4% growth rate. There is a continuous increase in the growth rate of Indian economy as the share of the primary sector is decreasing continuously. And on this aspect there is a question that says that as the primary sector's contribution in the total income has been reduced, it has facilitated the improvement in the growth rate of India, as a whole. There is a question, previous year question, we will see that question, right? So this is the observation, and now you see that there is in a table form I want to provide what is the share of sectors in nominal GVA for 3 years, 2019-20, 2020-21 and 2021-22. This is the excerpt taken from my book only on Indian Economic Survey and Union Budget. You can get it. It will be useful for your group 1 and group 2 also. See, if you see in the last 3 years, what is the share of the agriculture and allied sectors? 18.4% in 1920, then 20.2% in 2021-22, 2020 and 21, then 18.8% in 2021-22. So the contribution of agriculture and allied sectors to total GVA is hovering around 20% in the last 3 or 4 years, right? If you see the contribution of industry, what is the contribution of industry? 26.7%, 25.9%, 28.2%. So it is also hovering around 28 or 27%, right? If you see the contribution of services sector, what is the contribution? 55%. Now observe the domination of services sector as far as contribution to total income is concerned. 55%. This 53.9%, 53%. So it is hovering around 53 to 55%. You can comfortably say that the services sector is, or services sector became a growth driver for as far as Indian economy is concerned, right? So this is the table that you need to remember. Now I will show you another report, which is Reserve Bank of India report on currency and finance 2021-22. See, while you are writing answers in group 1 mains also, try to mention the source of the data that which you are getting from, right? This is released in 2022 and this is released by Reserve Bank of India, right? It is also showing how sectoral shares in real GVA has been changed since 1951-60, right? We will see over the last 70 years, the Indian economy witnessed a remarkable transformation from a predominantly agriculture based to a services dominated economy. So RBI report is saying that, over the last 17 years, Indian economy has predominantly changed from agriculture dominated to service dominated, right? Now industry share was increasing up to 1990s, after which it has stagnated. So industry share increased up to 1990, but after that it has stagnated. Now services took over, right? So this aspect also you need to connect it with Kuznets-Clark hypothesis. India is deviating from the Kuznets-Clark hypothesis as far as sectoral contribution to national income is concerned. This is the important point that you need to remember. Now observe the graph here. See the agriculture contribution. See the agriculture contribution, right? Nearly 50% in 1951-60. It has reduced gradually, right? Now see the industry. Mining, manufacturing, if you include construction also, right? Here observe it, right? It has increased up to here, then from here it has stagnated, right? Now observe the services sector. This is services sector. Now see the band how it has increased. See, now it is nearly more than 50%. So these are the changes that the RBI plotted, and it is saying that indirectly it is saying that Indian economy has become agriculture based to services dominated economy, right? Just try to remember this and try to remember this graph and try to remember the name of this report, RBI report on currency and finance 2021-22. Okay, now we will see one of the previous question based on our discussion, right? And we will also see how to approach this question. See, basically all my discussion or all my video lecture will be based on how you need to approach the mains examination. What are the areas that you can expect questions from these topics, and if a question is being asked, how to approach that question. That is the main crux. It does not it will not be any of use if you read entire syllabus without approach towards the question. So approach towards the main question is important as far as your mains preparation is concerned, and making notes according to the examination or according to the expected questions is very important. Then it will be very useful or very easy for you to write the answers, right? Okay, now we will see one of the previous question being asked based on our discussion. Discuss the nature of sectoral contribution of income to national income of India since independence. So he is telling, he is asking, what is the nature of sectoral contribution of income to national income of India since independence? Also, examine whether the changes in sectoral contribution to national income of India followed Kuznets-Clark hypothesis. Whether this change in structural transformation followed, especially in the national income, sectoral contribution to national income, followed Kuznets-Clark hypothesis. See, here you need to observe that Kuznets-Clark hypothesis, he is particularly asking about changes in sectoral contribution. He is not asking about inequality. He is not asking about inequality, or he is not asking about workers migration from agriculture to industry, or he is not asking about workers migration from rural jobs to urban jobs. He is interested in changes in sectoral contribution to national income of India, whether it is followed Kuznets-Clark hypothesis, right? So even if a question is on Kuznets-Clark hypothesis, you need to observe on which area Kuznets-Clark hypothesis is he is stressing up, right? So for this type of questions, your approach is that write a brief introduction on the meaning of structural contribution to national economy. So what is the meaning of structural contribution to national economy? Write a brief introduction about that structural, what do you say, structural or sectoral contribution to national income, right? Like how much, what is the contribution from agriculture sector, what is the contribution of industry sector, what is the contribution of tertiary sector. This component includes the sectoral contribution of national income, right? You write a brief introduction, then explain the transition of Indian economy from agriculture dominated to services dominated economy by way of contribution of sectoral income to total income. So now you have to explain how Indian economy has transitioned from agriculture dominated economy to services dominated economy with relevant facts. As we already saw that in 1950-51 the contribution of primary sector is around 56%, whereas services contribution is around 20s or below 20s. Then it has gradually increased. Now around in 2019 to 20, the agricultural and allied sectors contribution is around, I think, 18.18%. The services contribution is around 56%. So like that you have to mention the source also, and you have to mention the traverse of Indian development discourse, right? That is what the second point is mentioning, that you need to explain that and support your argument with relevant facts. This is very important. If you are writing answer as far as this particular chapter is concerned, you need to mention the facts and you need to mention the authentic source from where you have picked up those facts, right? So support your argument with relevant facts and apply Kuznets-Clark hypothesis to your analysis and conclude accordingly. Here you need to apply Kuznets-Clark hypothesis to your analysis, and you have to say that as Kuznets-Clark hypothesis, according to Kuznets-Clark hypothesis, as development proceeds from low development to high development, first the contribution of primary sector reduces and the contribution of industrial sector increases. After certain point of time, the contribution of tertiary sector will increase. However, in Indian case, India has deviated from this hypothesis, as the contribution of, after the reduction of contribution of primary sector, there is perceptible increase in the contribution of tertiary sector circumventing the industrial or secondary sector. So this is the perceptible difference from the Kuznets-Clark hypothesis. This thing you have to mention, then you will get full marks, right? So this is the approach that you need to adopt for this kind of questions.